Welcome to the Big 12 Insiders, your Big 12 sports show. Here's your host, Brien Hanley.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? This is your main man, Big B, Brien Hanley. Welcome back to Big 12 Insiders. Look, we are continuing in our series on the best games in the Big 12. Each week, we are at week 3. Started at week 0. We are now at week 3, counting down the best games in each week. I think it's a fun exercise to get us until football season starts. We'll still have some other stuff, but we're going to count these down for now. So before we get started, again, everybody remember to like, follow, subscribe, continue to get in the comments section. We're on our way to 4,200 subscribers. I thought that was a pipe dream, be honest with you, a couple of months ago. So I'm upping it. We need to get to 4,500 subscribers by the time the season starts. So appreciate all the support that you guys have given us, man. We absolutely enjoy doing this each and every time we put out a video for you guys. So we really do appreciate it. Media days are coming up. We'll have more when that comes out too. So let's get after this thing. So week 3, there's not a ton. I mean, there's a lot of teams playing, but not a lot of really good games in the Big 12 that week. Look, it's non-conference. Texas State going to Arizona State. I know that game was close last year, but Arizona State's not the same team, and quite frankly, neither is Texas State. We'll move on. Utah's on the road at at Wyoming, excuse me. I don't see anything there. Iowa State going to Arkansas State. That's very odd for them to be playing on the road against that kind of a team, a group of 5. The last time they did it, though, if I'm not mistaken, they went to Ohio and got beat. So let's hope that doesn't happen to the Cyclones again. Now, look, the backyard brawl is that weekend. Of the games that could be decided by the backyard brawl is that weekend. But here's the thing. While it's a great rivalry, I'm not sure how good West Virginia is going to be, man. Now, look, I know the game's at home. And like I said, it is a crazy rivalry. It absolutely is. Pittsburgh and West Virginia, but I think Pitt's pretty good. I'm not sure West Virginia is going to be that good. So for me, it didn't cut the mustard. But what did, and I know Kansas State goes to Arizona, and it's a non-league game, but I'm not, all know how I feel about Arizona. It's disaster. Moving on, but the game of the week for me is on Friday night. It's Colorado and Houston. Now, look, Colorado will have already been tested that during the season because their first game of the year, they play against Georgia Tech. So they will have already been tested. I'm not sure Houston will. Stephen F. Austin and Rice, I'm not sure those are tests. But this will be a big one. This will be a big one. Look, the game is in Houston. Conference game for both. This is not one of those, hey, they're playing against a league opponent, but it's actually a non-league game. Nope. This is a league game, and I think both have a lot to prove. Look, what does Colorado look like without 2 stars? Where's the leadership come from? What's the new quarterback? Offensive line, is it going to be any better? What are those kinds of things? Is the defense going to still be aggressive like it was for a lot of the season last year with Colorado? With Houston, it's how good are you? How good is this program in year 2 under Willie Fritz? It looks like they may have found a quarterback, so I think there's a lot there. That Willie Fritz, Houston, they're going to bring a defense. Willie Fritz is always going to have a defense. I don't care how bad the offense is, that defense is going to play some football. So maybe it's a low-scoring game, maybe it isn't. I think it's a test for both sides. Again, I know Colorado will have already been tested. Again, Georgia Tech's supposed to be pretty good, but that first game for the conference game for each team, I look forward to it. I think it's the best game of the week. And I know, West Virginia fans, you're going to beat me up in the comments. I get it. That, the backyard brawl, it's a huge rivalry. And it is. But I'll just be honest. The one thing about me, I'm always going to be honest about what I think. I don't think West Virginia's any good. So it may be a big rivalry game. I think Pitt might smash them. Now, usually that doesn't happen in a rivalry, especially when you're on the road. But I think Pitt is just better than them. And by the way, this is the Big 12 Insiders, right? So, I'm going to lean a little bit more towards an actual conference game than a non-conference game. Now, if it's obvious that the non-conference game is better, then I'll go ahead and say that. But I don't think it's obvious in this case. And again, the type of game, what it means, even if West Virginia beats Pitt, and they very well could, don't get me wrong, what's that going to mean for the conference as a whole? Probably not a whole lot. This is Colorado. It's on a Friday night. There's going to be eyeballs on this football game. That's just what Colorado brings at this point in time. Until proven otherwise, people are watching Colorado. So this is a big opportunity, not only for them, but also for Houston. A lot of eyeballs, lots of not necessarily recruits, because recruits are going to be playing on Friday night, which is one of the reasons I don't necessarily like colleges playing on Friday night. I'm like, give high school their time, give them their due. But having said all of that, I like the matchup. I really do. Houston trying to find itself a once proud program. Colorado, again, another once proud program, found success last year, but can you sustain it? I think that's the key for Colorado is, can they sustain this success? How invested is everybody going to be? That's a good question you could ask about Coach Brien. How invested is he going to be now that his sons and Travis Hunter are no longer there? Is he wanting to stay and build this thing? Or is he, I'm here now. I had some health problems in the offseason. I'm going to see this season through, but that's going to be it. First off, if that is the case, you can't blame him. That's number one. But number two, I don't know, man. I like it when Colorado's good. I grew up in an era watching college football, growing up as a teenager. Colorado was outstanding. And I want them to be back there full time. It's good for Colorado. It's good for the conference. It's good for college football. Now, maybe that, that's the nostalgia in me, and I understand all that. But Colorado brings something to the table that I think a lot of people can invest in. And it's more than just Deion Sanders. Because it was great before he got there. It was great a while back before he got there. Let me say that. And it can be great again. It can be great again. It really can. So personally, like I mentioned many, many, many times, I want Deion to be there for a while. But I think this game, Colorado at Houston, is the game of the week in week 4. I think it's a proving point for both teams, a measuring stick, so to speak. So I like it. So I appreciate everybody, man. Thank you guys as always. Remember, like, follow, subscribe, get in those comments. Tell me what you like, dislike. We'll be back next week, or we'll be not next week, next video, just breaking down exactly what we have here as far as the best games moving on through the Big 12 season. Talk to you soon.
Thank you for watching the Big 12 Insiders, your Big 12 sports show. This has been a Spirit Street production.